Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be looking at trying to restore this card dialer 2662. Basically this would have had a multi-line key row and a cable and a case, and pretty much it's missing mostly everything, but I am trying to get the dial to work. And if we try and stick a card in, right now it's not even gonna go down. Basically, currently the spring is broken. So see, we can push a card in, and then if we push the start button down, which is also missing, then the card would normally pop back up. But the spring is fractured, so it's not able to build up any tension. So what I'm gonna look at trying to do is I'm gonna remove the screw here on the side, which looks like it should release this pinion that goes across, and then I should be able to hopefully take the spring off, and I'm gonna try and replace it with this spring. It's not a perfect fix, but it probably will work better than it is right now, so I'll make another video section after I've done that. Alright, so with removing the two screws here and here, and then sort of popping this back and then out, I was able to get this off. And then you just carefully pull off this gray gear, and then the old spring popped out. And you just want to be careful to not crack the plastic, because you can see it's already starting to fracture with how they manufactured it. And then I put in the new spring, and you want to make sure that it's wound the same way. The original spring is wound like this, so you can see essentially which way it's supposed to store energy and then release it, because if you put it on backwards, then it won't get as much tension and it could damage the spring. So this seems like it's working so far. I'm not sure if this spring will be too strong or not, but we'll see. So now I'm just gonna put it back on, and then we'll deal with getting this tensioned the right amount. Also, when you're putting it back in, you'll notice that this piece here is loose from the main shaft gear. This individual gray nubbin piece on the end. This is the correct orientation. As you'll see, this smaller bit locks with this metal plate here, and then the fin on that side locks with the gear when it's spinning. And then you'll want to make sure that you get that gray plastic piece behind that hook, and make sure that this side of the spring is attached onto the plastic piece, because that's what blocks it from continuously spinning. And then this side of the gear will have a hook from the spring that locks in, and then we'll go ahead and tension that. Alright, and here we have working finished product. I don't have a start button installed on this yet, but I do actually have another tone dial card dialer that I'm going to take the start button off of, but that'll be a separate thing. So you can see back here, I actually had a bit of trouble because I didn't realize I didn't line these up perfectly, so I had to take it back apart and align these. As long as those are aligned, your card should still glide up and down. And then if your card is gliding fine, then the next part is tensioning the spring. I had to make, I think, a turn and a half from its original standing point. So it's just latched back here on the metal hook. I didn't latch it on the plastic piece because it wasn't, the spring isn't quite as long as the original, so this sort of makes it come forward a bit more so that this hook on this side will stay in. And then I forced the spring apart so that it would have these breaks on purpose, so that way when you put the card in, you can see it'll actually close those gaps a bit. So this way it works a bit better. So obviously I don't have the original spring or a replacement for the original spring, because it would have been longer. But that actually did work, which I'm a bit surprised by. So that was just one of these type springs I got from Ace Hardware. They only cost about 10 bucks for this whole box, so you can buy one of those and play around with it if you want. The next part now will be tuning it and getting the dial restored, because I'm still not even sure if this will work as far as the tone dialing goes. Because something that'll need to happen is this will probably need to get tuned. It needed to get tuned on my other card dialer that I restored. Basically, you have to loosen this screw here, and then you press the card down, you dial, and you can hear there's a little wheel that makes contact with these two wires, so it flips it, and that's responsible for tone timing. So that way you'll actually get definitive breaks between the tones instead of it all being a blur together. So this is responsible for helping timing it. These contacts connect the dial when you press the card in. So those will basically, when you press this, when you'd press the start button down, this transparent piece would go down, and then it jumps over those two plastic pieces, and in the process it also forces this plastic piece up, which releases the card. So when you push this down and let it go, it locks those contacts there and makes the card go up. But yeah, it'll be a whole nother video of that process of tuning the dial and even seeing if it'll work. And most likely, if I can, I'm going to be trying to install this dial into another phone, such as a call director, because I'm hoping to make something more custom, because I don't actually have a case for this card dialer. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know.